All right, here we go. Academics, welcome back.
It's our third one? What is this, third, fourth?
Third, fourth? I mean, which one? I mean, we always like alternate. I'll do yours, you'll do mine, and then this might be our third. This is our third.
Yo, Vlad.
On both platforms.
I feel like I missed the wave, though. Like, I remember the Vlad couch, and I'm just here on a chair, just
a regular-ass chair.
No, man.
But look how much nicer it is, though.
It's very
nice.
nice.
Look how much nicer it is. You didn't have all this before.
Yeah, I was like, yo, like, people don't know, man. My man Vlad, multi-coastal with the studios, the videos, to be honest, which I've told you, don't know if you need it, but you put out probably one of the highest quality videos of all media creators, including The Breakfast Club, Hot 97, myself, Adam, everyone, because most people, we cap it at 1080. Like, you're over here giving 4K.
We're 4K. We're 3 cameras. There's a moving camera now.
Yeah. That's fire right there.
We built this whole lighting system and so forth, and we're just getting started. We got more shit coming. Well, let's talk about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Takeoff of the Migos. He was laid to rest yesterday at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. The fact that he got a whole stadium like that is dope.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a public ceremony. They're probably going to have something private, then officially lay him to rest.
Right.
But, yeah, surreal, man. Surreal.
Yeah, I mean, this one came out of nowhere because I actually did Takeoff and Quavo's first interview ever.
This is while Offset's in jail, right?
Offset was locked up. This was 2013. At what point did y'all really start like laying it down in studios and really doing videos and stuff like that?
Well, we came up on our first studio, came up on our own,
Mixcraft.
It's a program we call our Mixcraft. Jewel Season, the first mixtape on Live Mixtape is a mixtape done by Mixcraft. I mastered the whole thing. Did it right in the room.
Okay.
Just went straight in.
I was in Atlanta for like the All-Star weekend or like a BET Awards weekend or something. Coach K hits me up. And I may have hit him up because he was managing Gucci Mane at the time. And I'm like, yo, I need a Gucci interview. He's like, yeah, I got you. I'm going to hook it all up. But just interview this new group for me first. This hustle? Hustle, right?
Listen, I know that very well. You're trying to get the guy at the moment.
So you got to get the guy next to the guy. So I'm like, all right, I've never heard of him before. But I'm like, all right, I'll do this as a favor to you. And then you'll get me the Gucci interview. And I interviewed him. This was before Drake jumped on Versace. He jumped on it like 2 days later because Birthday Bash happened 2 days later. They hooked up and then he jumped on the remix and then they took off. I never got the Gucci interview. Coach K, you still owe me that, but whatever. But that was their first ever sit down, period, with anybody. And
by the way, they were very antisocial at first.
Yeah.
And a lot of dudes that come from a certain environment, they don't know how to turn that type of instinctual, hey, I'm that tough guy or don't trust people type of thing. They almost look at an interview like an interrogation with the feds.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, they weren't very talkative. I think I was wearing a Hublot watch, and then I think Quavo was asked me what kind of watch was that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We that's how we kind of bonded a little bit on that. You had your own Takeoff moment.
Which is so ironic. You're saying how they were in 2013. By the time I get them, right, that's 2017. The whole knock on them still is, they make great music, but we're doing a talk show. They're just not good for camera in terms of having communication. And by the way, that's why I loved how they've progressed ever since then. You know what I mean? I think that these days I watch them talk a lot. I see them engaging. And it's all about growth, the moment, and we could get into that, the moment that we had on Everyday Struggle with me, Joe, and Takeoff, Quavo, and Offset. It was all over the place, and I think the narrative got written, whatever. But I had the utmost respect for them, right? This was a group I was listening to. I used to be like, these are the top 3 goons out of Gwinnett County because they're from Gwinnett County, really. And I've always loved their music, going back to Hannah Montana, Fight Night, you know what I mean? Handsome and Wealthy, they went on a mixtape run that was legendary, you know what I mean? If you ask any real fan, when you talk about No Label, it's gonna be a thing, right? And it just turned out crazy at the BET Awards, man. We get in there, it was the craziest BET Awards ever, Vlad. I kid you not. It's my first time ever there. I'm so green to the industry, but I'm so excited. You get what I mean? And like some of these guys we wanted to interview on the show, we never got them, but they were all good. Everybody was in LA. You wanna know how crazy it is? First day we get to LA, like Complex tells us like, yo, listen, first of all, we know y'all a little spicy. Y'all might want to stay inside or watch how you're moving out here. Everyone's here. We're like, what does that mean? They're like, yo, Meek just ran into Safari. Jump. Everybody's running into the person they don't like.
Yeah.
So if y'all have some people that don't like you, you're gonna run into them, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever. The Vic Mensa thing happens.
Yeah.
Same time. Like the whole that it was, we were probably out there for 4 or 5 days. Everything is happening. The Vic Mensa thing happens. After that, I remember Complex just in a frenzy, like, yo, you got to write down a list of everybody you have beef with. I'm like, what the fuck? You know how much I've been talking shit? I was like,
long ass list. Yeah.
I didn't even know I had beef with the dude. Like the dude, yo, listen, if a dude walks in and he say, yo, Vlad, yo, where's the bathroom? And you show him to the bathroom, okay? And he daps you up and goes into the bathroom. You're not expecting him to come out like, yo, fuck you, Vlad. Like, so that's exactly what happened. Anyway, Complex like, yo, we're going to get some security. They get some security. The security's rolling with me, like, because I'm with Joe, but Joe is like, you know, remember he's a former rapper, so that automatically means he got stripes. So he tells the security, he says, yo, only watch out for Akademiks. Something happened to me around this bitch, man, I have this whole bitch surrounded. I'm like, okay, gangster, okay.
Joe said this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm serious. Remember his man's a crooked eye, you know, like the LA's, come on, man, stop playing.
Whatever.
Vlad, come on now.
Okay, whatever.
So
that's not Joe, though. That's Crooked Eye.
Now, here's the funny part.
Okay.
I'm chilling. Things are happening. I'm in the hotel working. I got a makeshift studio in the hotel I'm working. Joe, like, against the advice of everybody that has like told us what's going on, says, yo, my outfit for tomorrow, which is the BT Awards, ain't clean enough. I don't got the right socks. Goes to the Beverly Center. Okay, you from LA, you know. Walks in there. Keep in mind, it's BT weekend. Every upcoming rapper, everybody's there. Walks in there, I forgot what store, but he's shopping for socks. Shopping for socks. All of a sudden, he gets ran into by a bunch of QC people.
Right.
There was a whole thing where they felt away, like Yachty's my guy, but QC felt away like, yo, when you guys are talking, because there was a dynamic between me and Joe. I love the newer rappers like Uzi and Yachty and them, and he would just be like, yo, these dudes ain't that good, right? Lo and behold, people he runs into is the QC people. They look at him, they say, yo, listen, what we don't like what you do is that anytime you try to describe a whack rapper, you use Yachty's name as a punchline. You're driving a narrative. It's fucking up our business. QC really is some street dudes. Let's be honest, you know what I mean? At least, you know, P come from a certain environment. That happens. Joe, like, again, he doesn't, it's not that he was picking on Yachty. He just like, it was just an easy way to like describe something for him constantly. So he says, yo, okay, listen, all right, I get it. It offends you guys. I'll stop. Cool. The day of the BET Awards, we all get there. And I'm going to be honest with you. When we walked into the BET Awards, everybody looked at us because also, it's probably like you walking in somewhere where there's a bunch of quote unquote journalists. They kind of look at me like, oh, here's this guy now. He's about to ask these questions type of stuff. Everybody was just looking at us weird. Anyway, we set up and we see Yachty. Yachty walks straight past us. I say, oh, what up, Yachty? I'm like saying what up to him because this is a red carpet. By the way, this is what no one understands. The red carpet is not like a library. It's loud as shit. It's like, imagine you're at a concert or a football game.
Yeah, I don't do red carpets anymore. I used to early in my career. Yeah, I used to really be there with my camera. And then then I started sending people. But after a while, it was just too chaotic. You only get a couple of little sound bites. I figure it's not worth it. If you want to do an interview with me, it's not going to be on a red carpet. It's going to be a sit down interview.
The only time it could ever be worth it is if, like, say something happened like in the last week or two and you know that person's not going to do press. You get to like shout it out to them and hopefully you get a reaction.
Yeah.
But it's basically like paparazzi.
Not our style, but I understand why people do it.
It's kind of like almost paparazzi work, to be honest,
Exactly.
right? You're not getting anything qualitative, right? Okay. Anyway, Yachty just ignores us for whatever reason. And then this is the part, and you know, again, I know they give us a list. The Migos probably are gonna sit with you guys. I'm like, I'm fucking excited. This is my favorite fucking group. Right before that happens, we have Drea on. Like she was a reality star, very beautiful woman, but you know, she used to be with Orlando Scandrick. Yo, I kid you not, we interviewed her for 20 minutes about her yoga tips. I kid you not, bro. Like her yoga tips, like, you know what I mean? Like her diet. Like it was all like her, like all type of how she stretches, how she keeps in shape, her skin routine. The whole time I'm like, bruh, I'm here to interview the rappers. But Joe obviously had a little, you know, rapport with her because they both did reality TV. So we did 20 minutes doing that. Next, they tell us Migos is coming up. I'm thinking we got to get at least, I'm going to stretch this time out for no matter how long it goes. But this is where it goes wrong. We're on this little, like, almost podium. They walk up. I'm like, yo, Quavo. I'm dapping everybody up. I see Takeoff. I'm like, Takeoff, my guy. I'm like, yo, Offset. Like, yo, like, I've covered these dudes for years.
Mm-hmm.
Joe is right behind me. He goes to dap him up, and they all look at him in the face and then look at his hand while it's extended. And like, you serious? They don't shake his hand. That's where the bad energy comes in.
Aha, okay.
So he's looking like, oh, really? Okay. He doesn't say anything. So, okay, all right. Right before we start, so they take their seats. We take our seats. Joe takes a position, and like, anybody who's been in maybe a hostile environment, if you ever hear some of these street dudes, they'll be like, yeah, when I go someplace, I make sure my back's to the wall. Mm-hmm. So the way Joe is looking at them, his back is to us. He's just looking at them straight up. He's not even looking at the camera. He's just looking at them because the energy's off. All right. Right before we start, P comes over and he walks up and he grabs Joe by the shoulder and he says, like, he's almost giving like a little aggressive massage. He's like, remember we talked about, you remember what you promised me? And I was kind of looking at it, like, what is this? But he was kind of reminding Joe, like, yo, you're not going to be like using Yachty as his punchline, right? Anyway, the interview starts. And honestly, and this is what people really think that I was trying to agitate Takeoff. Honestly, number one, I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
I keep explaining to people who don't understand. You could hear it because there's actual mics that picked up the audio. I'm the furthest from Takeoff. I'm asking him a question, which was a really honest question back then. Be like, yo, that was their biggest song, Bad and Bougie. Mm-hmm. He wasn't on the song.
Right.
And I said, hey, how does it feel that you weren't on the song, but like, you know what I mean? Like your group has had the success. And every time he goes to answer, it looks like he's going to shout at me. Like, oh, and then he was just whispering like, he did this like 4 times. I couldn't get what he's saying.
Right.
And the whole time I'm just like, wait, what? Wait, what'd you say?
Right. And he was saying, does it look like I was left off Bad and Bougie?
Yo.
You're like, what? Does it look like I was left off Bad and Bougie?
Yo, Vlad. What? Yo, I caught him saying that at one point, and I doubted myself. I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe he's on the song. But like really, like he really was just saying, look at the success and look at me now. Does it look or does it mean anything that I'm not on that song? Right? Yeah. And that moment alone, I think Joe was already sitting there a little agitated, like, okay, these guys ain't really feeling me. This is really Act's interview. Then our producer gives a wrap-up sign. And that's where stuff goes left. Because I'm looking like, yo, we're just like 4 or 5 minutes in. We talked to Dre for 20 minutes. Ain't no fucking way. You gonna have to pull this mic out of my hand. So I'm still trying to get more questions in. Joe gets frustrated, drops the mic, walks off. And then a bunch of like, you know, nothing really happened, but like they almost like tried to confront him, and P eventually came over. To Joe's credit, it's not like he just ran, he stood there. And yeah, like eventually nothing happened. P basically realized where he was at. Like, you got to be stupid to be like, yo, yeah, beat this dude up on the red carpet. Like, it's gonna ruin. I think they were up for awards. Come on, now, this is gonna be a bad look. So